In a state grappling with crumbling infrastructure, underfunded schools and a healthcare system stretched thin, the Karnataka government's decision to allocate 2.8 crore rupees to feed stray dogs chicken and eggs daily has sparked a debate. Many see this as a slap in the face to every citizen struggling to make ends meet in a state crying out for fiscal prudence. The BBMP tender to provide royal meals to stray dogs across Bengaluru's 8 zones is like an exhibition of misplaced priorities. It exposes a deeper rot in governance. Karnataka's financial woes are no secret. The state's fiscal deficit is a reality. The state is struggling to fund critical welfare schemes, repair pothole-ridden roads, and ensure basic amenities. Just months ago, the government was pleading for central funds to address drought relief and farmer distress. Yet it finds both money and wisdom to provide feast for stray dogs. While children in government schools are served watery dal and citizens dodge rabid strays on poorly lit streets, this is what the government is doing. Just think of the optics here. At a time when public trust in governance is already fragile, this move screams indifference to human suffering. Does this move mock the struggles of the common man? Is this policy humane or lopsided? Let's put this to the wonderful panel joining us tonight. Gauri Muleki works for People for Animals, Percival Bilamoria, senior advocate, MC Abbas, political analyst, Adnan Khan, dog behavior expert and founder of the Canine School. Thank you all for joining me. Coming in for Gauri Muleki first. Gauri, how's your response to when the Karnataka government has decided that free meals will be provided to stray dogs?
It's a welcome decision, I'd say, to encourage looking after animals. It's not an either-or situation. You cannot ignore, one side of humanity and only focus on one. So it's fine. It's all right. Probably a vegetarian meal served to dogs would also suffice to keep them healthy. It is true that serving animals in one way serves humans as well, because if aggression in dogs goes down, if they're not hungry or diseased or looking for food, then humans are served indirectly as well.
Rightly said so. Adnan Khan, you're a dog behavior expert. You'll be able to tell us that if we feed dogs, will it cut down in dog biting incidents?
So I see it in 3 benefits actually by this move, and this is a very inspirational move and should be modeled across the nation, because not only does it impact calmness and relaxation in the dogs once they're well fed, but this also helps us track down and reduce rabies cases, because the dogs become friendlier and more accessible to the caretakers, and also curbing the population issue that has been pertinent. It'll help us neuter the dogs as they become friendlier and more sociable to the caretakers as well. So it has multiple benefits beyond just taking care of the strays, and honestly this always points towards an evolution and development of any constituency or any community once they start taking care of nature and animals beyond just humans' personal needs.
Absolutely. We also have MC Abbas, yes, political analyst, joining us. MC Abbas, how do you feel about Karnataka government's decision to feed stray dogs?
Well, I honestly believe that, when it comes to stray dogs, they need to be relocated to shelters where they can be fed, vaccinated and sterilized. Feeding and keeping them in a free roaming state in the streets, I believe, is a huge health and safety hazard. Let me also bring to your notice that Member of Parliament, Mr. Karti Chidambaram, happened to meet our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, at his Parliament office, and he highlighted the growing health and safety concerns when it comes to stray dogs in this country. Let us speak of the country. We have over 6.2 crore stray dogs, and we have one of the largest populations globally. And it remains endemic for rabies, accounting for 36% of the world's rabies-related deaths. So therefore, I think a holistic, humane and a scientific solution is the way ahead to go. The fact of the matter that we need to emphasize on one very important point: dedicated shelter houses for the stray dogs and a long-term plan to manage this crisis. I live in Bengaluru city here in the beautiful state of Karnataka, and every Bangalorean here today will agree with me that there is a menace which is going on. So therefore, feeding them with chicken rice, taking in tenders is not going to help. Largely, if you really wish to make a difference, there needs to be a policy in standard which is working well. So the way ahead to go, I strongly believe, is sheltered houses along with the vaccination, sterilization in the long-term plan and perspective. If there is any shift, any difference to this, it is not going to make much ends meet. A temporary solution is definitely not a way to go. So therefore, I strongly advocate what Mr. Karthi Chidambaram, the Honorable Member of Parliament, has proposed to Modi ji, and we must come to a solution, not just in Karnataka, but to deal with the over 6.2 crore stray dogs that we have in our country. So that I would certainly believe is the way to go ahead.
Right, Percival Bilmoria, I hope I'm taking your name correctly. How do you feel about the move? What are your thoughts?
I don't see him on the panel here.
I think you might need me.
We'll try and reconnect our line with the senior advocate. Meanwhile, let me shift this question to Gauri Muleki. Coming to you, there is a certain section of the society which feels that the people who are taking these decisions, they're also saying, the people in power, the government, the Congress government, they're also saying to the common people that we do not have funds to fulfill your wishes, the guarantees that the government made for the people. They're saying that if you get rid of those guarantees, if you do not demand, Karnataka CM's advisor only, he said that if you do not demand freebies from us, we will be able to give you more benefits and we will be able to fulfill your wishes. And at that moment, when people in Karnataka are asking more benefits from the government, this decision has irked some people.
Well, like I said, governments have various jobs to do. Looking after people, looking after animals, looking after the environment, and various facets of governance is up to them how they place their budgetary allocations into policies. But I would say that man's best friend has become a very polarizing issue here. While some people want the government to deal with them, they still oppose if the government is dealing with them in one way or another. Like I would agree with the dog behaviorists on your panel who clearly said that actually feeding dogs makes them friendlier, makes them easy to catch, hence aids with the animal birth control program. The birth control program is the only solution to lower their population. Mr. Abbas mentioned Mr. Karthi Chidambaram's meeting with the PM. You would be better advised if you're going to put crores of dogs in confined spaces. That would only aggravate and exacerbate the problem. It would not resolve it, and that's scientifically proven. And there is a law laid down to neuter the dogs and sterilize them. That's what's going to solve the problem. The dog population is not naturally occurring, in our societies. We have created it. We have domesticated them, we have invited them into our civilizations, and now suddenly we want them to disappear. It's only going to happen humanely, in a graded fashion, in a scientific manner, and in line with the constitutional ethics that we have of humanity and compassion.
Right. Ambika Shukla, how do you see this, move when it comes to the dog biting incidents also? We saw how a dog mauled, a kid on the streets in Bengaluru. Right after that, such decisions, will it help curbing such incidents?
Well, I'd like to point out, every municipality so far, we all know that every city has animals, and yet very few civic bodies actually plan for these animals. We don't cater for their food, we don't cater for their water, we don't cater for their shelter, we ignore them entirely, we just use them and throw them. So every city needs, and I think Bangalore is making a wonderful, wonderful example. For the first time, the municipality is not antagonistic. Animals are not our enemies, they are not encroachers on earth. They are our fellow beings, and they belong here just as much as we do. So when we refer to animals, they are not a menace. We've heard of the cattle menace, the cow menace, the bird menace, the dog menace, the monkey menace. Animals are not a menace. Animals, many of them were living here before we did. Delhi, for example, was a jungle. In our own lifetime, we've seen how the Asiad Stadium was created out of a forest. So monkeys were natural citizens of Delhi long before many of us were. And for us to call them a menace is a bit laughable, because we have stolen their homes and we have taken their spaces. And for now to say that we should remove them to shelters, it's like saying imprison them. No, it doesn't solve the problem. And it's an impractical, completely failed solution, because we've tried it before. It didn't work. Those same pounds were converted into ABC centers, which is working wonderfully. The rabies cases are now down to less than 100 a year. In fact, only 54 cases a year, down from 20,000, only because of the ABC program, which depends on feeding. This is the first time that a municipality, instead of saying beat, chase, hit, catch, remove, is actually saying, let's try it the other way. Let's try it with friendliness. Let's try it with kindness. Let's try it with food. What does a dog ask for at the end of the day? Only food. He's not asking you for malls. He's not asking you for cinema houses. He's not asking you for petrol pumps. He's not asking you for anything. We are just giving him the very basic. And these are our fellow beings who share our city with us. And it's as ridiculous to say they don't deserve food and we should look at other priorities. Everything, like Gauri said, every government has space for animals, for humans, for the environment, for various priorities. Right. And it's not an either or. So we should be looking at it holistically. And I think it's an excellent move forward and something that should be replicated around the country.
Okay, MC Abbas, please respond to that.
Well, I heard the previous speaker. I think she took offense to me saying menace. Respected ma'am, would you look in the eye of the mother of the child who was mauled to death here in Bengaluru? Look in her eye and please say it's not a menace. Ma'am, it's a catastrophe. It's a tragedy. These are real cases that we speak about. If there is a menace, there are no two ways about it. It's very comfortable for you to say that it is not, ma'am. This is a fact and we must come to it and agree to it. And I'm absolutely categorically stated that I'm not against feeding of the stray dogs. They are even better than, I would say, us human beings. But the fact of the matter is, there needs to be better reforms here. Temporary feeding is not the solution. We are not against feeding them, but providing them, I did not say only shelter, but houses as shelters for them. Much better way, not mere prisons or jails or bad conditions. All I'm trying to say is there needs to be a holistic measure. If you heard me previously, I said holistic and I said humane. That is the way to go about. And you spoke of animal birth control, ma'am. Let me quote NDTV article, India Today article, and tell you that the animal birth control rules of 2023, the implementation has been ineffective. Ineffective being the word. The fact of the matter is we need a national task force on this front. Stray dogs have every right as much as we humans to exist here. Earth belongs to every single human or animal on this planet, including trees. But the fact is, governments involved, be it the state and the center, needs to bring in much better reforms. Feeding them for a couple of days is not enough. Also, you need to look at bureaucracy here. You need to see the bids coming in here. Are you even aware that over the last 10 years, BBMP elections are not even held? We don't even have the right corporators or municipal right people there to take it. The fact, how will you operate when there are no 10 years of elections being held? The fact is, scientific solution is the way to go. The center needs to implement the ABC, animal birth control, in the right way. It has to become effective. The fact is, we as citizens of these countries, of RWA societies, all must come together. Not just one being, and then make it a much larger difference. Debating the comfort of our homes is not going to help.
Okay, Adnan Khan,
what I'd like to derive here.
I would like to bring you in now. Adnan Khan, how do you see, is this the way to go forward in every state? This should be the precedent now?
Aditi, this is absolutely, the first step towards what the public has been requesting, that the government focuses towards the stray dogs while let's just remove the heuretics about menace or not menace, the fact was that there was a lot of news articles and news incidents where we were here as well, where there were bite incidents being flared up. And finally, if we are able to keep track of the dogs that are there, keep a population control, and interacting with them is finally where the ABC would happen. And I will willingly train all of the caretakers to understand the behavior changes at a more regular level. I'll happily do it pro bono, voluntarily go right there and teach the guys to scan the behaviors, and we can literally pick out the dogs who could be predictably
Right.
challenging to the public, and we could rehabilitate them on site itself. And this, I think, directly tackles the problem of bite incidents that people were bringing to the government actually.
Okay, thank you so much all of you for joining me. Gauri Mulekhi, Ambika Shukla, MC Abbas, Adnan Khan, thank you so much all for joining me on this very crucial topic.